Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Josiah Guthland. I'm a admissions counselor here at Carroll Community College.
And I'm Kim McShane. I'm also an admissions counselor here at Carroll Community College.
All right. So we're going to talk to you guys today about the admissions process, about financial aid process, how to do that here. So first off, I've worked here at Carroll for like 4 years. Long time?
4 years, yeah.
And I'm working with Kim the whole time. She's a great coworker.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're agreeing that you're a great coworker. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Before I was employed here, I was actually a student here. I'm an alumni, and then I have my bachelor's degree, and then came back to work here at Carroll.
My story is somewhat similar. I was also a student here at Carroll Community College. I graduated as a Hill Scholar Honor student and went on and got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, and I continued to work here. I first started in the Office of Student Life, and now I work in the admissions office. Been working there for 4 years. So this is our first time that we've done the Facebook Live, so we're excited about that. And we're going to talk to you about a little bit about admissions, and then we're going to go more in depthly into the financial aid process, which it is the season of financial aid right now. So
yeah, taxes, financial aid. It's that wonderful month after Christmas where we're all poor again. So we're excited about that. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is steps to admissions. Okay, so real quick, steps to admissions is a very easy process here at Carroll. We don't make it complicated. You don't have to write essays or do anything crazy like that, give us a blood type or anything. All we need you to do is fill out the enrollment application. You can do that online. Carroll's, it's free. Thank you. Yeah, free. carrollcc.edu/apply now. You fill that out, takes about 10 minutes, and then you're a student here. There's no application fee, like she said. The next process is to do the placement test. So a lot of different ways to do placement tests. We'll do SATs, ACTs, we'll take high school GPA for some of it. Everyone that's in Carroll County Public Schools, you guys do the AccuPlacer at the high school. If your scores are high enough on that, we'll take those. So there's a lot of different ways to be exempt from placement testing, but if you're not exempt, we'll have you do our placement test here. It's free. It's from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2 on Fridays, and then even 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. You can do it here. So we'll have you do that, but definitely come and talk to Kim and I. Before you do that, we'll talk you through which steps, which placement tests you have to take, and then if you do have to take some, we'll give you some study material so you can study specifically for that piece of the placement test before we have you come in. All of that, up through that, completely free. We're not going to charge you for doing the placement test as well. The next step after that is actually just registering for your classes. So you're going to get assigned. You're going to come in and meet with an academic advisor. Your first time you come in, you don't have to meet with your assigned advisor. You just meet with any of our advisors, do that on a walk-in basis, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday, or 8:30 to 4 p.m. on Fridays. Just come in and meet with us, and we'll go ahead and get you set up for that first round of classes, and then you'll get an assigned advisor. You'll be able to register with them moving forward. And the last thing you do is you pay for your classes, which is about half the cost of most of our sister schools around here, Towson, College Park, things like that. But here today we're going to talk to you about how to lessen that tuition cost. Okay, so we're going to move over to Kim about the financial aid process.
Did you mention the date to start for priority registration for new students?
No, I didn't. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
This is like Morning Joe. I don't let her talk very much, so no talking me. No, I'm kidding. So if you're a current student here, you can register for classes starting on April 10th. If you're going to be a new student, so like you're a senior in high school now, and you're going to be coming to be a new Lynx in the fall of 2018, then the first day you can register is April 17th. So you can actually be registered for your classes well before any payment is due, and before you even graduate from high school, so that way you don't have to, this summer, you can go work your summer job, don't have to worry about, get mom off your back, or mom, you can go tell your kids to do it, so that way you won't be on their backs. Whatever, whoever it works. And we'll get you guys set up for your classes before school even starts.
And you should definitely register sooner rather than later so you can get the schedule that you want. But more importantly, you should definitely pursue the financial aid process sooner rather than later. So oftentimes people think, well, I'm going to apply to Carroll, I'm going to take the placement test, I'm going to register for my classes, and then I'm going to think about how I'm going to pay for this. But really, right now, the month of February is the time to think about all things scholarships, financial aid. So we can help you with that process here at Carroll Community College. So if you have any questions, you can always visit the financial aid office. They're very helpful people. They can talk to you about the process for returning to school, first-time college students. So definitely call them, email them. They'll be able to help you with that. But just for some basics for financial aid, so like I said, now is the time. So even if you think that you do not qualify for any federal or state aid, I would encourage you to complete the FAFSA form, the free application for federal student aid. So on the back side of that steps to admission is the steps to a financial aid. And really these things should be happening concurrently. So you could do the admissions process and the financial aid process at the same time. And so it's really important to think about filing for federal aid. If you apply for this by March 1st, then you're eligible for Maryland state aid as well. So we definitely encourage you to complete the FAFSA during the month of February, so that way you have maximum consideration for both federal and state. And last year, I think, was the first year that they started the application process. It started actually in October, and you can use the previous year, so it's the prior year for tax information. So we're looking at 2016. So you don't have to scramble to get all your tax information set. Some of you are still probably collecting W-2s for those parents out there. Yeah, so maybe you haven't filed your taxes yet. That's okay. You don't need to worry about that for the financial aid process. So you can go online to complete the free application for federal student aid, and that's at fafsa.ed.gov. And this is free. Okay, it's in the name, so you never want to pay for it.
Do not pay for the free application.
Yeah, so make sure you're going to the correct site to do that. And if you have any questions on how to file, you can, like I said, you can go to the financial aid office. But it's really important to fill this out because basically the federal government has an equation for people. So you basically enter in your financial situation and it says, yes, you are eligible for federal money or state money to go to college. And so that's really important to get all of that information in as soon as possible, so that way you can have all of your financial affairs in order as you're registering for classes. Unfortunately, dual enrollment students are not eligible for any federal financial aid. But if you are approved from your school to come here, a high school student, public school, homeschool, private school student, you can come here and there's about 25% off your tuition. So we do kind of subsidize that for our dually enrolled students. You have to have a high school diploma or GED to be eligible for any federal financial aid. So that excludes dual enrollment students. So again, February is the time to apply for financial aid. Our school code specifically, you want to write that you're attending Carroll Community College, and our school code is 031007. So that's important because then it sends your information over to us, and the financial aid office will be in contact with you if you need any supplemental material.
31007.
Yeah.
We're like the James Bond.
I didn't.
We're like the 31st James Bond.
Yeah.
So how many James Bond movies has there been? Like 17?
I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen any of them?
No.
The last ones were good. I really like those. Okay.
Yeah.
So once again, just to piggyback on her, make sure it's the free application that you're doing, because if they're making you pay, you're definitely at the wrong place. And it happens every year. That is why we say this. It's easier to make that mistake. Make sure you're not clicking on any of the ads when you put it in. If you Google it, you're doing the Googles, right? Don't be clicking any of the top ones.
And don't assume that you're not going to qualify for aid. You don't know unless you fill it out. And even if you don't, you may qualify for some of our scholarships that we're going to talk a little bit about later on. So it's definitely important to file, even if you don't think you're going to qualify for aid. Definitely still pursue that.
Yeah. And hopefully your parents have their 2016 taxes done by now. So you don't sound like you have to rush to get that stuff done. Yeah. And February 20th. Try to get it done by February 20th.
Yeah, that's your goal.
For maximum consideration. It's a very powerful term, maximum. Okay? All right. So I'm a veteran. Hi. No, you don't have to clap or anything. No, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to talk to you guys really quick about veteran benefits. So if you are a veteran and you are eligible based off of your status after leaving the military, you're honorably discharged or other than honorably discharged or medically discharged, and you do qualify for what some of the VA benefits, which include the education benefits, post 9/11 or the Montgomery GI Bill. What you're going to need to do is contact the VA for us, which would be out of Buffalo. They're going to send you information. You can go to the va.gov/edu to find information on that. You can Google that, but make sure you don't put in your social security number or anything like that. Our local office for here in Maryland, our local office, you're never actually going to go there in person, is out of Buffalo. So if you're dealing with the Buffalo office, that's the right people. You're going to come in and speak with Irene Ward, who works in financial aid. She is our VA guru when it comes to VA benefits. Now, when it comes to, say you're a veteran, but you already have your degree, or you're not going to use your veterans benefits because you're a mechanic or a plumber or whatever the reason may be, in some cases, you are eligible to have those veteran benefits used for a family member. Those are on a case-by-case situation. I don't have them all memorized. I don't think Irene has them all memorized. I mean, she's impressive, sure. Yeah. But that's a lot of government forms and stuff that you got to figure out. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So make sure you speak with Irene about that. If you're like considering, I don't know if I can afford to live where I am. I did use the post 9/11 GI Bill when I was a student here from 2009, through my whole 4 years of college, 2009 to 2013. And the way it works with post 9/11 specifically, I can only speak to post 9/11, is they pay for your college, all of your tuition. They give you an allotment for your books, which may or may not cover all the total cost of your books. And then they also give you a stipend to live on. That stipend is dependent upon your zip code, so it's going to be different even depending on where you live in Carroll County. It's going to be more if you live in Eldersburg, or a little bit less maybe if you live in Taneytown or Westminster. I don't know exactly. But it's based off of that. It's E5 with dependents pay is what it's going to be. But you only get that in the months that you are a full-time student. So you get it 9 months out of the year. You do not get that paid over the summer. So, I mean, with that money plus working part-time and then during the school year and then working full-time during the summer, it does make education very, very affordable and easy to attain. Yeah, so the financial aid process can seem very complicated to people, and definitely if you're a first-generation college student, if it's your first child, it definitely can seem very cumbersome. So just again to remind you, if you have any questions, contact our financial aid office. They're awesome people. I know you've dealt with them. I've dealt with them as a student here before. So their contact information, Josiah is zooming it in on the screen, so you can take a look at it there. Again, more than happy to help you through that process and navigating that. I was child 4 of 4, so by the time I got to college, super easy for my parents. But if it's child number 1, it can seem a little overbearing. Okay, so right now we're going to also talk to you about some other opportunities. So financial aid encompasses a lot of different money. So it can be Pell Grant money. Technically, it can be loans. So all of that is processed basically through the free application for federal student aid. But we also have scholarships. So we have scholarships here at Carroll Community College that can help kind of offset the cost of your education. So some of these are need-based scholarships. Some of them are merit-based scholarships. Some of them are specific to maybe a major or program of study or high school, and if you're a recent high school graduate, some of them could apply to you. So these scholarships open up February 26th, so we want to make sure that you have this information so that way you can log on to our scholarship page and apply for these scholarships. We have about $250,000 of money to give out to students, and so at a much reduced rate at a community college, $250,000 is a lot of money to award in scholarships. So we do have some. I don't know if you want to highlight some of our scholarship stuff here. So they go on that one specifically there. Yeah. Oh, this one. Yeah. Yeah. So they go live February 26th, and you do need to complete an application through what's called Award Spring. So if you go to carrollcc.edu/scholarships, it will have information on how to apply for these scholarships, when they're open, and what exactly you need to do. Now, it is helpful if you have applied
for admission and filed for your free application for federal student aid. So basically you will get a number from the federal government called the expected family contribution, and you have to put that in for the scholarship piece, okay? So once you file that, you'll get a document from the government that says, here's all your printout, and on the scholarship stuff, it'll give you what line you need for that expected family contribution. So that you don't have to worry about where is that, you will have access to that information. So these scholarships will be open until April, and we will award students at that time who have applied for them and who are eligible for them. So you don't have to apply. Before, I think when we were students here, you had to circle these pieces of paper of what scholarships you wanted to apply for.
On paper.
On paper.
Yeah. Essays. You had to, or type them. And print for everyone.
And you had to apply and select which scholarships you wanted to and research, you know, which ones applied to you.
I didn't get any of those Asian women scholarships that I applied to.
You didn't read the criteria for that one.
Oh, I didn't read the criteria.
So now we have a new scholarship program that it actually weeds through the scholarships that you're not eligible for, and you only apply this for the scholarships that you are eligible for. So again, some of them are need-based, some of them are merit-based. So definitely take a look at them, apply for them. It's going to take about 45 minutes probably to complete the scholarship application at Carroll. And again, you're going to go to carrollcc.edu/scholarships. And find out all the information that you need. It's not live yet, so you won't have the link to go on to the Award Spring platform that we use for the scholarship process, but you can at least find out the information that you need. We also have new high school scholarships, so that's that paper there that Josiah mentioned already, brought up. And so these are new this year, it's very exciting. So we recognize that Carroll is a great place for high school students to start. For all students to start, but specifically we're trying to take a look at our high school population and award them for some of the things that maybe they have accomplished in high school. So if you are a dual enrollment student and you've taken 6 credits here at Carroll and received B's or higher in your classes, you automatically get a $500 scholarship to come here full-time for the fall. If you've graduated in the top 10% of your class, automatic scholarship, $500. And
I was not in the top 10% of my class.
Yeah, but you were when you were here.
That's true. I made up for it in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah, 2 different types of students here.
Yeah, both succeeded at Carroll very well.
Yeah, and then we also have a new STEM scholarship. So this is an honors program specifically for students who are interested in science, technology, engineering, and math. So if you were in the project Lead the Way at the Career and Tech Center, you get automatically admitted into the STEM Scholars program, and you get $500 a semester. So that's awesome.
All 4 semesters.
Yeah, so when you're looking at the cost of Carroll and you're thinking, well, $500 doesn't really seem like a lot. It is a lot. I mean, that's 20% of your tuition.
Yeah, that's like free class. It's pretty much a class. It's a 3 credit hour class for free.
Yeah, so there's lots of scholarship opportunities at Carroll. So we would encourage you to take a look at those, apply for them. It's definitely worth your time. We hear that from students all the time. Oh, like I'm not gonna apply for a scholarship. I probably won't get it. Nope. These are scholarships that are available just for Carroll Community College students. So you want to make sure that you apply for them.
Do it. It's really not that hard.
No.
It used to be much harder.
Yeah.
And now it's
we're living.
We're old now. Yeah. So I'm old. Yeah. She's not old yet.
Kind of old.
Comparatively, the high school students.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to write out, you had to like read all the criteria. I didn't read the criteria, I just applied to all of them. It was probably not, I didn't get any scholarships because my essays were really bad. Okay, so you've done your FAFSA, you've applied for scholarship, and you still need more money to go to school here. So another choice we have here is what's something called federal work study. So even if you don't qualify for financial aid, or sometimes as a form of financial aid, you're allowed to do something called federal work study. And that's where you actually are a student worker here at Carroll. It was my first job here at Carroll. I was a federal work study. Did you do federal work study?
No.
So I actually worked as like, I answered the phone up in the academic center, and I was a greeter. I think it's because just pretty handsome boy, so that's why they they picked me.
Or it's what they needed at the time.
Yeah, I don't think they actually interviewed me. They just like, oh, you could work there.
Yeah.
I was actually told I was too loud when I first started there.
Surprising.
I don't believe it. I'm kidding. I'm very loud. So that was my first job here. I don't think now that our federal work study students make $9.50 an hour.
Yeah.
And really, those jobs are not that crazy hard to do for the most part. I mean, you have to be smart and presentable, but it's not like we have you laying brick or anything. You're not becoming a mason.
Answering phones. Making copies.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so you get paid $9.50 an hour, and the wonderful thing about it is you get to stay on campus. So you go to class. When you're done with class for the day, then you go to your federal work study and work for 4-5 hours. You're not going to be working more than 20 hours a week as a federal work study. We're not going to let you work full time. The part of this is to help supplement your income while you're a student, not to be a worker that takes classes. That's not the point of this.
Yeah.
The federal work study, you're going to find out about openings in the financial aid office there. And that's where you apply for federal work study. Is going to be there, but they have them all over the campus. How many federal work study students do we have?
I don't know. So we
It's
have
a lot,
federal
though.
work study, and then we also have student worker positions. So the federal work study is basically subsidized by the federal government for students to pay to pay their salary, and then we have work study positions as well. So you don't necessarily have to qualify for aid to get a job on campus. Students can get jobs through departments that pay out of their budget. But we do have a number of federal work study jobs on and off campus. So we do have some students who work at places like the Boys and Girls Club, for instance, to help out with their programs. So if you have any questions about federal work study, visit the financial aid office. But again, you need to file your FAFSA first in order to know if you qualify for federal work study or any form of aid.
Because some of those positions are only for federal work study, and others can be just for work, like student workers, or they can be federal work study positions.
Yeah.
But what it comes down to is, even if you don't qualify for financial aid, or you can't get a federal work study position, or your work study, or you can't be a student worker, hopefully you can, but if you can't, the overall tuition here at Carroll is at such a substantial savings and a value that you're even without these added benefits, you're going to be having a great amount of savings here at Carroll. What it's going to amount to is you're going to go to college for 4 years, your first 2 of them here at Carroll, at the cost of what would be 3 years worth of classes. Oh, Christopher says hi.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. How are you? Oh, well, Brian says hi. Hi, Brian. Sorry. I saw that did come up a minute ago, but I was busy on something.
This is the first time we've done this.
So you're looking at for your total 2-year cost about $12,000, which is about 1 year would be at one of our sister colleges around, and that's going to be the cost for both years. So if you get $2,000 for being in the STEM Scholars Program, and you qualify for federal work study, so you make a couple $1,000 doing that.
And you got a commissioner scholarship for $1,000. I mean, that's huge.
Adds up really fast.
Yeah. If you don't have to be in debt for your first 2 years of college, you're way ahead of the game in terms of your peers.
Yes.
Yep.
So instead of you got students graduating from College Park with $60,000 in debt, you could do your first 2 years here, have no debt, and then you'll actually get a scholarship when you leave here to go to some of those other schools. A lot of our students get scholarships when they transfer.
Yeah, I know it's hard being a young person conceptualizing
how much
debt,
money that is.
Yeah, and how much things cost, and you're thinking, well, I'm just going to get a job, I'll pay it off, it'll be fine.
Pay it off.
But when you're younger people like us, and you're looking for an apartment, and you're buying a house, and getting married, and
having kids,
you're trying to get your life situated. Not having any student loan debt or having minimal student loan debt will definitely get you a lot farther than what you think that it will, because I know it's hard.
We don't have any student loan debt.
We don't have any student loan debt.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm married into it, so I'm still paying a little bit. Are you marrying into it?
No.
He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any loan debt. No.
Oh, lucky girl. That's awesome.
So definitely, community college is a wonderful place to start, just from a cost savings perspective. And there's a lot of opportunities here at Carroll to even kind of bump that up a little bit and get a little bit more incentive to come to a community college.
Oh, we have the open house.
Yes.
So if you have questions or you want to meet us in person, not just on the internet, you can come to our open house on February 19th from 1 to 4 p.m. You can RSVP.
High school students are off of school this day.
Yeah.
So we'd like you to share it with us.
Yeah, come with us. So go to carrollcc.edu/admissions, RSVP, so we know how many. If you know just the students coming, or they're bringing mom or dad, let us know. Yeah. That's going to be from 1 to 4. If it snows and we're closed, no makeup.
Yeah.
So hopefully it doesn't snow.
So far it's been pretty mild.
Yeah, it'll probably just ice.
Yeah.
So it's just been horrible. That's been crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well.
That's our Facebook Live.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. So again, if you have any questions about the financial aid office, please come to admissions. Contact financial aid. We'll definitely get you set up where you need to be. Don't need to make an appointment to meet with either Josiah or me. We'd be happy to answer your questions for you.
Yeah. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.